Would have been a draw in that moment on the offside decision. Overall, very happy. I think we're very consistent.
I have to ask you about the man of the match, Ethan Ranieri. You handed him his first ever Champions League start, age 17, and he repaid you with an incredible performance. He didn't look very nervous.
He doesn't. He never does. He's so composed, so calm, so confident about his ability. And when you can see that at 17, starting the Champions League and score a very important goal is not very common.
You finished third out of 36. Some big teams finishing below you. What's the feeling about how far you guys can go? How much confidence does that give you into the knockout stages?
It shows a lot of consistency and quality in what we deliver in the first 8 games. Playing home and away, I think, is been very similar. And hopefully more confidence and belief for the team that we are a really good team, that we can compete with anybody. And I think that's a big thing in this competition, to really have that trust in yourself.
And you can go far.
I hope so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Job done. Talking to Phil Kitchen-Milidis, who looks an awful lot like his own goalkeeper, David Raya, doesn't he? I bet Mikel did a double take there. Hang on, why am I being interviewed by my own goalie? Phil is Phil, just for the sake of clarification. Arsenal's last 16 opponents, by the way, one of these 4, Feyenoord, PSV, 2 Dutch teams, Juventus, Milan. I mean, all good teams, but Arsenal would be favourites against any of them right now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the goal they conceded tonight by Danjuma, I think is the only goal they conceded in open play in the Champions League so far this season.
Wow.
We talked about Pep saying, I don't see the stability in my team, so I don't really know what you're going to get from us. I think you do know what you're going to get from Arsenal. And you have, I think solidity takes you very far in European competition. Yeah. That's not the solidity. We should mention that the only goal they've conceded from open play has Neto out of his goal like that.
Literally out of his goal.
Yeah, which is a bit mad.
No doubts about the penalty. Partey tripped and Jorginho gets it done. I mean, he only just beats the keeper.
Yeah. It's his own style taking that one, doesn't it? I love this goal.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's a beautiful hit. And I think it's a lot harder than it looks. It's behind him. He's got to get his foot round it. And what's really impressive is the power he generates with the curl on it. Lovely finish.
Scoring a few, isn't he? Getting a few games, possibly because others are not fit and available, but he's taking his chances, Ethan.
Yeah, look, he's a talented lad. They've been speaking about him for a while, and obviously Bukayo Saka would normally be in that position. And he's taking his chance. He's an exceptional talent, brilliant in the 1v1, and that's what Arsenal need. I mean, I think only Kai Havertz as their recognised striker available today, so the light in the attacking third, which we all know about, and hence why there was probably a bid today. But defensively, they're solid, and that'll be the way I think they progress. No one will want to try and play against that defence. Yeah,
I mean, you would think from what we're hearing, there's a slim chance they get an Ollie Watkins deal done in the next few days if Duran is leaving Villa. So do they look elsewhere? Because generally you'd say we're not just going to get anybody, it's got to be someone who makes us better.
Yeah, and I think
that's
always been Arsenal's way of looking at things. Like, if we can't get the guy we want, then we'll wait. But I do think, we've seen Arteta mount title challenges and go very close to winning the title. I think it's time we saw that in Europe, because we've seen teams that before they win a Premier League, you can say it with Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, go away in the Champions League, develop confidence that way. I think we're still yet to see it from Arsenal, but we might see it this year.
Have you got some inside knowledge? Did you see Ollie Watkins in the tunnel handing presents at press time after he?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
I just wanted to clarify that.
No,
that was all that was.
Because I've been here. I mean, I have people, but I've been here. No, I didn't. I didn't see that.
Your hands away. There you are. I don't think Watkins is going anywhere. I might be proved wrong. You never know.
It seems that way. On Liverpool tonight, it's a defeat, only the third of the season. It obviously doesn't matter, they finished top anyway.
Yes.
And he's had a chance to look at a few players that otherwise aren't getting much of a look in.
He's not put a foot wrong, that fella.
No.
He's a great listen. And I've got to say, for somebody...
They go out of the competition, but as Owen says, a great effort for them in the first place just to get into the Champions League this season. So let's take a look back at the goals then from this game and wrap things up, because we were talking about the fact that Arsenal hadn't conceded a goal from open play in this competition, and then this went and happened, and it was just a bit of a weird one, wasn't it?
Yeah, defensively, looking at Partey, his body shape, and then Kiwior coming out, it's an area that he shouldn't really do. Turns his back on it, Partey, and then it goes through the middle of the Arsenal team. The goalkeeper there in a crazy position. You know, I put this down to, you know, you're making lots of changes to the personnel in each compartment, and then Calafiori keeping him on side there, Danjuma running through and scoring. So that was you know, from a defensive point of view from Arsenal, it was a bit of a disaster for them. But they regrouped, got back into the game, and thankfully the goalkeeper there didn't touch that, because they're down to 10 men at that point. It would have been an absolute disaster and another game where they're an uphill task.
Can you criticise the goalkeeper in that situation at all? Because I'm just wondering, from an Arsenal perspective, Mikel Arteta said before the game that David Raya actually got an injury, which is why he didn't feature tonight. Is that a concern?
Well, it would be if you're missing Raya. You could argue he's been the best goalie in the Premier League this season. I think he'll criticise no pressure on the ball first. You know, Trossard maybe could press a little bit better. They're a bit too open in midfield. Partey takes his eye off Danjuma, and Kivior steps into midfield where maybe Jorginho could fill in there as well. So I think Mikel's so sharp. He obviously, the goalkeeper might get a bit of criticism, but there's lots of parts before that lead to that happening.
That was Neto's Arsenal debut tonight as well.
Yeah, but Neto, that's the normal position for the goalkeeper. He's advanced. He's waiting for the one ball that goes over the top.
He just got caught in no man's land a little bit.
And it's one of those, like, you know, Kivior, for instance, you know, like I'm trying to organise that barrier in front of me. I don't really want to wander into that area, because quite often the space you vacate, somebody flies into, and that's what happened. So their shape gets a little bit disrupted. But it's players who are not playing a lot together. Partey's not really a fullback.
But he's got him there, Martin, isn't he? He's got him, he sees him in his eyes, and then he turns his back on him.
He can't see him.
It's fine margins, it happens. I played there. But the thing is, you can't lose sight of Danjuma there. You've got to keep your eyes on. Once he turns, it's an actually brilliant run from Danjuma. Kivior is slightly out of position, and then obviously the goalkeeper's in a bit of no man's land. But again, Mark makes a good point. Mikel wants the goalkeeper to come off his line, but he's probably just caught, you know, in that space. So I think Mikel, they could tidy that up. But again, Mark makes a great point. There's a lot of these guys don't play together all the time. There was probably only 3 of the starting 11 that played tonight, so I thought it was a good performance considering.
Arsenal equalised from the penalty spot. Let's take a look at the incident that led to that, which again was just a little bit of an odd one. What's he even thinking here, Owen?
I don't know, Martin's a centre-back. He's better at tackling than I was.
It's his ego, isn't it? I think he thinks he's not getting past me, but he forgets he's in the box. and he kind of just puts out a lazy leg, and it's like, you know, that's just crazy.
I love the fact he tried to deny it as well and say he didn't do anything.
Of course he did, yeah. But this guy does it, Jorginho does it really well with his penalty, this little jump. Oh, and you've got a little theory, haven't you, that he's almost got to go to that side, isn't he? Can't go
I think with that hop, and then I think you have to, it's easier to go that way rather than come across your body. I'm amazed by that technique. I don't know how the lads do it. We used to just get up and just smash it into a corner. These lads they got all these little routines and runs.
Let's take a look at the winner, because on his first Champions League start for Arsenal, Nwaneri, this is just perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I love it when a young player, you know, just produces on the night. We build him up at the start, saying what a great talent he was. And look, there's anger in that, you know, but control as well. He's whipping that into the corner. You see lots of players now coming into that area. The goal seems to open up for these left-footed players on that right-hand side of the pitch. And he's got the ability, hasn't he, it makes that look really easy there.
But the remarkable thing about him is the ball sticks to his foot. It's never away from him. You know, I don't want to say who it reminds me of because it put a bit of pressure on him, but he's a special player.
Can I just draw your attention? Sorry,
I know you were looking at it.
No, just to see who Arsenal's potential opponents are in the round of 16. You can see them on screen now. Juventus final, PSV and Milan. Wow.
Win. They'll beat all of them. They're better than all 4 of them, definitely.
Confident, Martin?
Well, respectful, because, you know, there's a couple of teams in there with good pedigree in this competition historically, but I'm confident Arsenal can go through to the last stages.
OK, Martin, Owen, thank you very much. We wrapped that up rather quickly, but we are not completely done. That's all from us, but you can see the reaction from Spain as well as all the other 17 matches. There are tons of goals to see, and all the reaction is coming up for you next on Goal Show Extra. It promises to be really fun for the next hour.
Business once more on the back of that very important equaliser. 1-1. So deflection, and it will be a throw-in. Well, what can they do to stop him running at them? Romeo Lavia. And there it is, the half-time whistle. So the beginning of the second half here at Stamford Bridge. Possession one. Mudryk. Being egged on by the crowd. And a goal to re-establish their advantage. Just look at the celebrations. Palmer.